Nowadays, I feel like the music industry definitely is not where it used to be. I was born in 2000, so like, we don't act like if I was born in 1955. But when I say back in the day, I mean back in even the early 2000s, 90s, into the 2000s. I feel like artists back then was seen more on a superstar status, right? Artists back then would sell 1 million copies first week. Streaming wasn't a thing, so you had to actually go and physically buy a CD, buy a vinyl, like buy an actual copy of music to then go home and replay that shit. You couldn't just go on Apple Music or Spotify and just click stream. And it's fans actually had to go and line up in them stores midnight to get, their favorite artist songs. Nowadays, that's not really a thing. Music is so much more easily available that I feel like the art of an album release, it isn't much of a spectacle anymore, because if you're being real, niggas be dropping albums every week and come and go, they come and go like that. It's very rare where you see somebody drop an album that sells over 1 million or it actually has staying power, right? But there's one artist who, is very infamous for a lot of different reasons, but she's very well known, and also you either love her or you hate her. And this artist is Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift to me has always been a real interesting artist because, personally for me, I never was a huge Taylor Swift fan. I mean, there were a couple of songs that she dropped like 2012, 2013, 2014. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Like, yeah, I could recognize some Taylor Swift songs and be like, that shit is a banger, that shit is a classic. But for the most part, I was never the type to anticipate a Taylor Swift album. I never was that type. But in the past couple of years, I have some friends, I have some homegirls who be trying to put more into Taylor Swift and going to Taylor Swift concerts and always talking about Taylor Swift on their Instagram close friends and always want to rap Taylor Swift this, Taylor Swift. And I was like, you know what? Let me try to understand what is the hype. And I like to listen to a wide variety of music. I was like, let me try to figure out what the fuck I'm missing out. I didn't quite make it to listening to any full Taylor Swift albums, but I've been kind of, observing her trajectory. She recently dropped an album called The Life of A Showgirl or something like that, right? And this album is on track. This is crazy, by the way. Listen to what I'm about to say. This album is on track to be the highest selling album in US history in terms of first week sales. That record was previously held by Adele's 25. You know Adele? Hello from the others. Yeah, that album 25, that was the record. The record was 3.38 million records. Taylor Swift is about to surpass that, and she's about to sell 4 million copies first week. What the fuck? Hello was a huge song. That album by itself was a huge album, right? Fast forward 10 years, 2025. How the fuck is Taylor Swift surpassing Adele sales? So I did some research. While I was doing research, I tried to make it be objective as possible because I be seeing a lot of tweets on Twitter, people talking about how Taylor Swift makes ass music. Taylor Swift, she has a bunch of different variants. So she's not really just selling one album or like one CD or one. Actually, selling like multiple copies of that album. Some variants have like exclusive behind the scenes clips, voice memos of when a song was like in its inception, like when she was like recording like a draft for a song. She'd put some of those like demos in a version of her album you can buy on iTunes or something. So she is selling this album in a lot of different ways. It counts as one album sale and it goes towards like the final first week sale of the album in its entirety, but technically the fans could buy like separate versions of the same album, and all of those versions count as a different album sale. So I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe Taylor Swift is the only person doing this. That would explain why she can sell 3.4 million copies plus first week. No, every single artist is doing this. Every single rapper is doing this. I'm talking about every single rapper. Travis Scott is doing this. Lil Wayne is doing this. All the pop stars doing this. Beyonce doing this. Like every single artist is selling multiple variants of the same album, whether it be like different vinyls, different CDs with like different clips. So it's not just Taylor Swift doing this. Yet for some reason, all of these other artists I just mentioned, Beyonce, Travis Scott, all of those first week sales have either declined or have been stable. So why the fuck is Taylor Swift's improving? Taylor Swift's biggest album to me was 1989. That was the album where she sang Shake It Off and Blank Space 2014. I remember back then I couldn't escape Taylor Swift. Those songs to me had more of a cultural impact than anything she's dropped since. So how the fuck is she doubling her album sales first week. If all of these other artists are doing the exact same strat by selling these different variants and they're declining, so what is so unique to Taylor Swift? Because I also don't even want to compare like 2015 in terms of Adele's numbers to 2025, because Adele didn't sell 1 million copies anymore when she released the album in 2022 or something like that, like it was a divorce album. Her latest record that didn't sell 1 million copies because of streaming. Streaming now is a different thing. So because people consume music differently, the first week sales are gonna look different, because I think it's like 1,000 streams equals one physical sale. I don't know how they even got that math, but all that to say, what is unique about Taylor Swift? What the fuck is unique about Taylor Swift? What is unique about her? I would say she's a good songwriter. I've always said she's a good songwriter, so that could be unique, but then again, there's a lot of good songwriters out there, so that doesn't count. She makes good pop music, catchy pop music, yeah. She's white, but there's a lot of white pop stars out there too. She sings about love, heartbreak, things that teenagers could relate to, things that young adults could relate to. But again, that's not unique enough. This is why people don't understand why Taylor Swift is bigger than every single fucking artist right now on the planet. Her fan base. Taylor Swift's fan base, yes, it definitely covers a lot of white girls, like young white girls. They definitely listen to Taylor Swift. They be singing Blank Space and Shake It Off. They be singing that shit to the top of their lungs, right? Of course. But tell me why my homegirls from Trinidad and Tobago, who are black, are huge Taylor Swift fans and going to Taylor Swift concerts and going to movie screenings for Taylor. Whatever the fuck Taylor Swift puts in them songs, my nigga. Whatever the fuck she be singing about. However the fuck they be hearing them lyrics and them melodies has allowed her to cultivate a fan base that is second to none. So when you have an artist who has a fan base so strong, like her fan base is mobilized. The Swifties, them Swifties do be playing. Them Swifties do not play. When you have a fan base that's that mobilized and eager to see their favorite artists, hear new music, consume every single piece of content that their favorite artists put out, they're basically obsessed with Taylor Swift, right? But because she has such a large quantity of fans, she could then say, you know what? If I just sold one record, one variant, I probably could get like maybe 1 million sales. Pretty much all of her albums that she ever released have gotten 1 million sales even before streaming, right? So she could get 1 million sales. But if she releases different versions, different vinyls, different pictures, different behind the scenes clips, different, audio memos, voice memos of a song when it was first being made, she could double that number. She could triple that number. So all she's really doing is being a smart businesswoman. Because every artist could do the same thing, but not every artist has the fan base that Taylor Swift has. So, okay, I said that. Some of y'all might be saying, well, Keej, that doesn't really mean that she's, the biggest artist on the planet, because just because she has a strong fan base and she could make that fan base by like multiple versions of the same album, that doesn't mean that she's the biggest artist or she has the biggest fan base. You know what? I thought so too. So I went to look at Taylor Swift's streaming numbers. Streaming is really where you tend to see how culturally relevant somebody is, because if you're being real, that's how you tell if the general public is fucking with you. Because you can have a very strong fan base who has been following you for like 10 years and they're gonna buy your shit, but that is not gonna translate over into streams. People actually need to fuck with you to have you be a very highly streamed artist. The general public needs to be playing you. You need to be in playlists. You need to be in the active rotation to get good streaming numbers. So I feel like streaming is the best metric to see how culturally relevant somebody is in present time. So I looked at Taylor Swift streaming numbers, right? Bruh, Taylor Swift streaming numbers blows every single fucking artist out of the... I was confused because she set the record for the highest stream song in a day. 30 million streams on Spotify. 30 million streams on one song in 24 hours on Spotify. I think the person who was in second place was either Adele, who had like 19 million streams, or one of those K-pop people who had like 21 million streams or something like that. So even in streaming, Taylor Swift is out streaming all them niggas. Her fan base is just insanely large. She be going on, I think she just grossed $2 billion on a tour. $2 billion on a tour, the highest grossing tour of all time. So that is why this woman is bigger than every single one of your favorite artists out there. She's been active in this industry since I was like 8 years old. She appeals to white people, white America, white girls, black girls apparently too. It's almost like a cult that she has, like the Taylor Swift, like the Swifties, bro. Them niggas be cult. Them niggas be fucking. Them niggas in a cult. It's an interesting conversation to have. I was seeing a lot of hate tweets. A lot of hate tweets about Taylor Swift. A lot of tweets saying that she's not actually the biggest artist in the world, and all of these numbers are manipulated. Adele did it first. Adele was like the realest artist to do it. And honestly, bro, I think Taylor Swift I think Taylor Swift broke the system. I really think Taylor Swift, that woman found a money glitch. Again, her fan base, while it might not be your friend or my homegirls who be listening to Taylor Swift, but while you and your boys might not be listening to Taylor Swift, whoever is listening to Taylor Swift, like that, whatever like sector or like piece of the pie chart, whatever percentage of the population is listening to Taylor Swift, they be listening to Taylor Swift, bro. Like real hard. So when you have a fan base that active and that hungry for your content, bro, this woman re-recorded all of her albums. Think about that for a sec. Think about if your favorite artist 10 years later would say, you know what, I want to re-record all these albums. I want to re-record all these albums, drop them, all different versions, all updated productions, but it's still songs almost identical to the first. Let's say, I don't know, who you listen to, Drake, Travis Scott, one of them niggas say, you know what, if Travis Scott said today, I want to re-record Astroworld, I'm going to add like 3 songs that I didn't originally include in the original Astroworld, and I'm going to re-release that. And I did that for all of my albums. That's what Taylor Swift did. So not only is she dropping new music, she's re-releasing old music in a new way under the streaming era to get those fucking streams. She's a businesswoman. I could really appreciate somebody who could really manipulate. Manipulate is a bad word. Let me not say manipulate, but who understands marketing and understands how to use what you have to your advantage. Taylor Swift is really just her. Low key.